Welcome to Taran's classroom, friends. In today's class, we're going to see about matter. Matter is a particle of matter that's made up of various types of particles like molecules and atoms which occupy physical space and mass. The amount of space in a solid, liquid or gas is known as its volume. The amount of matter in any solid, liquid or gas is known as its mass. An atom is a particle of matter that uniquely defines a chemical element. An atom is made up of a central nucleus that is surrounded by one or more negatively charged electrons. A molecule is a group of two or more atoms that are held together by pull forces known as chemical bonds. When a matter is so hot, like when we keep the water in the freezer, it changes into ice because the pull forces hold them together as a solid. When it gets hotter, the pull forces are not broken, but though it changes into liquid. When it gets hotter enough, the pull forces are broken and the water evaporates as a gas. Now we are going to see about the arrangement of particles in a solid, liquid or gas and the movement of particles, their shape and their volume. In solid, the particles are tightly packed, but here in the liquid, though the particles are not tightly packed, there are pull forces between them. In gas, there are no pull forces and the particles are wiggling so fast. And now I am going to tell about the movement of particles in the solid, liquid and gas. The particles, the pull forces are holding together the particles in a solid in a tightly packed pattern, which means a solid. In liquid, the particles are wiggling fast, though they are tightly packed by the pull forces. But though they are tightly packed in pull forces, but in gas they are not tightly packed and there are no pull forces also, so that the particles are bumping against each other. And I am going to tell you another thing. When solid changes into liquid, it is called as melting. All of you know that if you keep the water in the freezer and after that it will change into ice. When you keep it and when you heat it up, it changes into liquid because it melts. And after some time, if you heat for a long period of time, it evaporates as gas. And as the gas, then it condenses into liquid. That means, for example, we can tell rain. The water vapor goes to the clouds and after that the clouds come down as rain. It just condenses. Then liquid changes into solid. It is called solidifies. That process is, as for an example, we can tell the water. When you keep it in the freezer, it changes into solid. We can also tell it as freezing or solidifies. The shape of a solid. The shape of a solid remains the same in any container. For example, imagine that here's a container. I am keeping a solid cube and now I am keeping the same solid cube in another container. The shape doesn't change, no? But in liquid it changes because it doesn't have any shape but it has volume but no shape. In gas, it has no fixed shape or volume, so that it spreads to fill the entire container. The particles in a gas occupy all the space available to them in a closed container. When you do not close the container properly, the gas may escape. The volume of a shape. The particles in a shape, always in a solid, always occupy the same amount of space in any container. Hence, a matter called a solid has a definite volume. And in liquid, the particles occupy always the same amount of space in any container. Hence, the liquid also have a definite volume. But in gas, the particles occupy all the space in the container, so that the gas doesn't have for any volume. So if you put some gas in a container, the gas spreads. If you think that we can in a 100 ml of container, you think that you can put 50 ml of container, but we can't. It occupies the 100 ml of container. And now I am going to tell about this melts, evaporates, condenses and solidifies. Do you know what does this melts, these four changes? It is known as changes in matter. So, When you keep the water in the freezer, the particles release heat energy and they move very slow so that the pull forces can hold them together as a solid. When you put the cloth to dry, the particles gain energy so that the pull forces can't hold them together. Am I right? So that the particles evaporate as gas and then they form the clouds. After that, they come down as rain. That is called as condenser. And after that, when you keep water in the freezer, I said no, then it is called as solidifies. It's changing into ice. It's called solidifies. And when you heat the ice, it changes into liquids. It is called melts. And after that, it evaporates into gas. Okay friends, so in today's class, we learned about what is matter, atoms, molecules, then the arrangement, movement, their shape, volume of these particles, then change of matter. Thank you friends. Bye. See you in the next class.